Hey, what's up guys? This is Yam again, back with a new Minecraft Dungeons video. So today the Spookier Fall seasonal trials have officially come to an end, so that means you will no longer be able to get your hands on these awesome uniques. Cool thing is though, we still have a trading system, so you can of course exchange these items with your friends, but you're probably also wondering after all that farming, which of these items are the best? What are the best enchantments to put on them to make them extremely useful for the highest apocalypse play? And that is exactly what I'm going to cover in this video, so guys, let's get right to it. So, no more seasonal trials, guys. It's a sad world, right? Right now, we don't have a lot to do. But worry not. We are going to do some pretty challenging daily trials on the highest Apocalypse Plus zone on Tier 3 and attempt to destroy 6 raid captains while we're at it. So we can get our hands on the highest power level items in the game, possibly find some god roll weapons in the coming days. I think that's going to be really nice. But of course, we farmed so long for all these items. The Gourdian Armor, of course, we have the Cauldron Armor. Then, of course, we also have some ranged weapons like the web bow, and then also the phantom bow. Where are these bad boys? Well, it looks like I don't have many of them, maybe even only one of them, but that's just fine. I mean, all the other rolls were super bad, but I did take quite some of these skill scythes and also the cackling brooms. So right now you're probably wondering, which of them should I keep and which of them can I trade with others? Of course, the trade value is going to be lower as well if they don't have the perfect rolls. So right now I'm going to talk about every single item which I think are going to have the best ones to keep. Let's say which enchantments are the most interesting to keep for the highest Apocalypse Plus. So let's start up with a web bow. I think this is still a very awesome ranged weapon. I mean, I use it almost all the time. If we look at my enchanted weapons right here, this is pretty much the Winter's Touch. So right here you see fires 3 arrows when charged, freezes on impact, and what I think is really awesome about this one is that every time when I roll with the current built-in enchantments, I can actually fire this bow instantly because I have the roll charge equipped, and that allows me to shoot 3 arrows at once, which are supercharged so they deal even more damage. So this is definitely one of the better enchantments for this range weapon. The dynamo did get nerfed a little bit in combination with the torment quiver, so this weapon is actually what I used when the torment quiver was still a little bit broken, let's say. But I think the roll charge and the supercharge are actually a very, very nice option for this ranged weapon. Combine that with something like Void Strike, and I think then it's gonna be super nice. I mean, right now you don't really need the dynamo anymore. It could be very useful. Could have been very useful in the past with the torment, but right now I think dynamo is not the way to go. Of course, if you roll, you already deal bonus damage. So normally, if we do a fully charged shot, 1.3 million. 1.7 million. So it is a significant change, but it is not a huge difference. With the Void Strike, you can actually get so much more damage. I mean, this one right here deals up to 300% more damage in comparison with, yeah, the Dynamo thing, which only adds, like, I don't know, 30-40% bonus damage, which isn't a lot. Then, yeah. So we have this phantom bow, right? This is the different one. Let's first cover the web bow. So this is exactly the bow which I have right now. So Winter's Touch, 3 arrows when charged, freezes on impact. This one exactly the same, only has the special event item tag. I got multiple ones right here. So this one has the Void Strike, also the punch, so we can knock them away very far. I think Overcharge can also be pretty cool, but Overcharge takes such a long time to charge up, so I'm not really sure if you want to go for something like that. So for the web bow, definitely Void Strike, Roll Charge, and then the supercharge is going to be very interesting as well. You could also go with something like Growing. That can definitely make a difference. I mean, if you shoot targets from afar, it deals additionally 75% bonus damage, so that can be really nice. If you don't use your bow very often, I think the refreshment can be very cool because every time we defeat a mob, could also be with melee, it will actually reduce the cooldown of your potion by 3 seconds. Same with the looting, guys. Increases the chance for mobs to drop consumables, 300% increased chance even if you kill them without your bow. So there's actually another one. I think we have it somewhere around here. Oh, there, right there. So yeah, if you have a ranged weapon, which you don't really use. Prospector could also be interesting to increase your chances by 300%. Now, onto the Phantom Bow, because this is actually what I am using all the time right now. Where is he? So, I have a Phantom Bow of power level 254. It doesn't have the perfect roll, but this is pretty much a power bow. I mean, they also have these effects. Let's see. So, when we go to ranged, we have the Elite Power Bow right there. Strong charge attacks, greater damage. Look at that, guys. Exactly the same. And what I think is really nice with the Phantom Bow is that it's pretty much a sniper. So if you use this bad boy, you can take down mobs with one single shot, pretty much. I already showed you how to take down mobs with only one arrow. So first you just shoot a weak arrow just to apply your Void Strike, because a normal shot right here, look at this. With my overcharge, of course, deals 20 million damage. But right now, wait a second, we just lost the Void Strike. 81 million. So from 20 to 81. This is insane, right? Let's try that again. That was 72. So, of course, the faster you shoot with a Void Strike being applied, the less damage it will deal. But if you shoot at almost the very end of this debuff, you will deal so much more damage. So you can multiply that, which can be very interesting. So with a Phantom Bow, I would definitely go with Void Strike and Overcharge to allow you to one-hit kill mobs. And then I also have the Ricochet. And I didn't really want this one at first, because I don't think this is one of the best enchantments to get your hands on. But at the same time, guys, the Ricochet is so powerful. Because if you're fighting against like bigger packs of mobs, say you want to take down 4 or 5 enchanted mobs, the Ricochet actually allows you to one-hit kill an entire pack. Because if you are lucky, and with a 60% chance, guys, this happens a lot, you might be able to shoot one arrow which bounces to all the others, and then they all get killed with only one hit, which is really nice. And of course, if it bounces off the main target, that also means the arrow flies to the others. They also get the Void Strike effect applied. So they all take increased bonus damage if you shoot them for another time. Say you're fighting against those very powerful tanky enchanted mobs, let's say. They also sometimes have protection. And boy oh boy, protection makes them even tankier. But this Void Strike definitely counters it. You could also go with something like Enchanting, which increases your damage against enchanted mobs, which can be cool, but yeah, I think something like Power or Growing is definitely going to be more interesting. You could also go with a Roll Charge, but the thing is, guys, Roll Charge and Overcharge, they don't work together. So Overcharge, continue to hold the ranged attack button to double, triple, or even quadruple the damage of your bow, but if you use it with a Roll Charge, it will simply charge it for once, so you don't get the charge 4 times. What I also think is pretty interesting to get your hands on is the cooldown shot, because if you're working with a piece of armor without any cooldown reduction, but if you do take down a couple targets, you'll be able to use that Satchel of Elements, Gongs of Weakening, or your Deathcap Mushroom or whatever once again, so I think that is really nice. Same thing like the other bow, you can also go with things like the Refreshment, the Prospector, Looting, if you don't really want to use the bow but just want to have it equipped as armor. Sorry, I meant ranged weapon. But that's already it for both the Phantom Bow and the Web Bow. So right now we have the melee weapons, guys. First off, I think this one is the most useful actually, the Skull Scythe. This one can allow you to get your hands on a lot of souls if you get the right enchantments. And on this bad boy, I found some pretty interesting ones. I mean, this one has Anima Conduit, Enigma Resonator, and then also the Void Strike. So it will be very interesting for single target damage. I mean, what I always say, if you enchant a melee weapon, go for a single target damage, something like Void Strike, critical hit, committed. Then also go for a AoE, which is Area of Effect. So you'll be able to deal damage to all the enemies around you with Shockwave, Swirling, Thundering, all that kind of stuff. But I think Thundering is less reliable. In my opinion, Swirling and Shockwave are the best one out there. And if you want to shoot your enemies from afar a little bit, of course go with the Shockwave, because you can actually shoot those waves and they travel pretty far. So you can take down range mobs with it as well. But what I think is pretty interesting right here is that the Skull Scythe is a soul gathering item. So that means, of course, you will already have +1 soul gathering, but you can also find these kind of enchantments. And guys, Anima Conduit is one of my favorite heals regarding soul builds. So each soul you absorb grants a small amount of HP. And of course this one also gives you +1 soul gathering. So you see where I'm getting with this one, right? We already have +2 soul gathering if we take the Anima Conduit. And instead of 6% HP, you will get plus 12% HP because of course you get more souls. But then if we add an Enigma Resonator, this one gives a chance to deal triple the damage, which is pretty much a critical hit based on the number of souls you have. And this one also gives you +1 soul gathering, and instead of the critical hit, this one gives you a 0 to 25% chance. It is not fantastic, but I think it's cool because you already get the bonus soul gathering. So right here you have a +1, then another +1 from the Enigma, then another +1. So that means +3 soul gathering on one single weapon. So you get 6% of HP times 3, which is 18% per soul. So you pretty much instantly heal yourself if you kill a pack of mobs, which is really awesome. And then last but not least, I would go with Void Strike to just deal a lot of damage to single targets, because you have a single target damage multiplier of 600% right here. I think that's going to be very awesome to use with the Skull Scythe. But of course, right here we also have the options to go with the Shockwave or the Exploding. So we want to go with a heal, an AoE, and a single target damage. And for the heal, we already took the Anima. But of course, we could also go with the Swirling if you prefer that. Then we could take the Radiance. But in my opinion, the weapon is just a little bit too slow for Radiance. So Anima is definitely going to be way more reliable. So that's why we're going to go Anima, Enigma, and then either the Shockwave or the Void Strike. So it's not the perfect combo, but at the same time, for soul gathering items, this could be actually be super interesting to work with. Let's see the other ones which I found. So these have the critical hit, stunning. Critical hit and stunning are both enchantments for very fast weapons, so not really interesting. Prospector, I would never take something like looting or Prospector on your melee because this simply will lack too much damage. Weakening can be interesting on the Ice Apocalypse Plus. It always gets a lot of hate, but guys, honestly, if you're playing against like super difficult targets, it's actually not that bad to decrease their damage by 40%. I mean, if they hit you like a truck, minus 40%, and also a Gong of Weakening, I think that can be really, really cool. So we have another one right here. This one has the Pain Cycle, can also be pretty interesting, but I would prefer to go with Exploding because this is also a kind of AoE or area of effect after you defeat a mob. This will pretty much cause the explosions to pop up, and then that will deal damage to all the enemies in the area. So this one could go with, for example, Void Strike, Exploding, and then Swirling. But we're actually missing a heal right here. Definitely don't go with a Pain Cycle, guys. If you don't have a heal, that can be extremely brutal. So yeah, for the Skill Scythe, I think you should definitely focus on some soul gathering things, like I already said in the first one, which I had right here. Anima Conduit, maybe Enigma Resonator, Void Strike or Shockwave could be cool. You could even go with Exploding, actually. Anyways, right now it's time for the Cackling Broom. So this one has a longer melee reach, extra damage to Undead, which is pretty much the Gravebane. I have this one right here. Let's see. So longer melee reach, extra damage to Undead. There's that. So it's exactly a reskin of this item. So if you want to get your hands on it, I think this one also looks pretty cool. Let's just equip it for a second. Looks extremely badass. But of course, if we go with the Cackling Broom, guys, this just looks fantastic. So for this bad boy, what kind of enchantments do you want to have? So basically for a spear, they already have a pretty long reach. The attack speed is pretty fast as well. I think they are really awesome actually to deal with different kinds of mobs. For example, also Vanguards are extremely annoying, but with this weapon, it's going to be a lot easier. So since it already has a pretty high attack speed, I would go with Radiance, because this is a little bit more effective in comparison with Leeching, because this weapon won't one-hit kill mobs. So if you have a one-hit kill weapon like a Broadsword or a Gravity Hammer or something, those pretty much one-hit kill mobs. So then the Leeching is really nice because you will always heal a percentage of HP, while with the Radiance, you have a chance of 20% for you to heal yourself. And if you hit with this weapon Right now it's not super fast, but with the Death Cap Mushroom, you can tell that we hit pretty frequently. So I think this is really nice. Then you should also go with something like the Swirling or Shockwave. It really depends on what you want to go with. I think Guarding Strike could also be cool if you're going with a tanky build, let's say. But this is only if you want to really focus on tanks. Let's see, we have some more weapons right here. So yeah, Swirling is something which we have. Chains can also be very cool because you're already poking your enemies from afar. If they deal a lot of damage, you want to keep them away from you pretty much. Chains is your way to go. Very underrated, but of course not one of the top tiers either. But it could be pretty interesting as well. Let's see, what else can we choose? Rampaging. Oh yeah, baby. If you go with Rampaging on this spear, you will hit so fast in combination with the Death Cap Mushroom. It only has a 10% chance to pop up, but on tier 3 it has a 15-second duration. So you will probably have it on 24/7 if you just keep killing mobs on the way to the end of the mission, let's say. Aha, so I just found a pretty nice Cackling Broom in my inventory. This one is power level 253 and actually isn't that bad. I mean, right here we have some AoE damage, the exploding. Then we have Radiance as heal. If you don't really want to go with Radiance, I could also go with something like Refreshment to constantly reduce the cooldown of my potion. So you can go with a potion barrier build, let's say. Can be very interesting because it also makes you a little bit tanky. If you want to go double tanky, you take the Guarding Strike to reduce all the incoming damage by another 50%. But in this case, I would go with Exploding, Radiance, and then also the Void Strike. Because, boy oh boy, let me just show you this for a second. So we take Exploding, we take the Radiance, and then the Void Strike. So you can see that this bad boy is going to deal a lot of damage. I mean, first hit, of course, only 600k. Right now, over 2 million. And man, look at the way how we hit this thing. It is so much fun to watch it. And yeah, the rages, they just keep proccing. Just keeps popping up, so you'll be able to heal yourself super fast. Right now we have super bad luck. Oh, okay, there they are once again. But yeah, I think the Radiance looks super cool with the environment which Bolt Muddy made. Guys, this is the Spooky Camp. If you didn't see my video about it, definitely make sure to check out the top right of the screen. It's a mod. Most of you guys are probably still wondering, like, hey dude, how did you get your camp like this? Well, all thanks to Bolt Muddy. So that's it for the melee and ranged weapons. Right now I want to go to the armor, and these are actually my favorite pieces for this set. I mean, we have the Gourdian Armor. This one looks so cool. I'm actually using this one 24/7. And the cool thing is, there's actually a reskin of the Wither Armor. I mean, the Wither Armor. It's my favorite, guys. 35% damage reduction, soul gathering, lifesteal aura. So you have an leeching in here. You have the extra soul gathering, which can be really cool in combination with the, of course, the skill Scythe, which we talked about earlier, with this anima conduit resonator. I mean, it's gonna work very well in combination with the Gourdian Armor. And just a couple days ago, we also find one exactly like this with cooldown reduction, final shout, cooldown, Shadow Surge, Gravity right here, and then also a Reckless Recycler. Lord Force already said that he really loved this piece of armor and wanted to get his hands on it. Well, that's gonna happen. But yeah, let me just say what I would put on this piece of armor. So I think he's going for a double cooldown and Reckless. So Reckless is a pretty YOLO, or yeah, reckless enchantment. I mean, it reduces your HP by 60%, but it will make you hit like a truck. So you literally become a glass cannon. So you can deal so much more damage, but you really need to know what you're doing right here, because otherwise it's simply gonna kill you. So there are actually different things possible right here. You could go with the final shout to make yourself a little bit tankier. You don't really have to rely on cooldown, but I think a double cooldown would be pretty interesting right here, and then go for either Recycler or Reckless. Recycler is not really top tier, guys. It's actually a pretty bad enchantment, so you would definitely not go for this one, but you can make an interesting build with Reckless if you want to. But the piece of armor which I'm currently working with has the Chilling. So guys, hands down, highest Apocalypse Plus, the Chilling is the most powerful enchantment in the game. So this one gives you this blast every 2 seconds around you to reduce both movement and attack speed around you to all nearby enemies. So this reduces everything by 60%. So you know that on the highest Apocalypse Plus, the enemies move super fast, they hit like a truck, and they also hit very fast. So if you have the Chilling, it will just make them chill. They will be less annoying. Guys, seriously, go with this one. definitely top tier, hands down. Right now on this Gourdian Armor, I also have the cooldown. I used to work with the final shot actually, because in the past we actually had the Torment Quiver Dynamo combo, which was very powerful, and you actually need souls in order to activate the Torment Quiver, right? And then with the final shout, I was able to trigger my artifacts on purpose, so I didn't really need any souls in order to activate the Torment Quiver. But since the Torment Quiver is no longer very viable, I think right now you should definitely go with a cooldown. So you will always have a lower cooldown on all your artifacts. And the artifacts which I'm currently using, by the way, are the Gong of Weakening, the Deathcap Mushroom, and also the Satchel of Elements. I already made a video also in the top right of the screen about my build, where I go in depth about all these things, so definitely make sure to check it out. But I think the Chilling is definitely a top tier enchantment for this armor. Cooldown is also very nice because of course it doesn't have any built-in. And then last but not least, I also found Rush on it. Not a big fan of Rush. I mean, I am a big fan of Rush, but it's definitely not top tier. But it can be super interesting to escape from very sticky situations. I mean, this increases your movement speed by 90% every time when you get hit. So it can make your speed runs or well, your casual runs actually speed runs, because you constantly get hit by enemies. You'll be able to just have extra movement speed. It feels like a swiftness potion, which you have equipped 24/7, so that's nice. You can also just run away from sticky situations a lot easier. And right here, I also have a very nice option, which you could go with for the Gourdian Armor, Chilling Snowball, guys. Man, Snowball is so powerful. It literally stuns your targets every single second if they're nearby. Of course, not every single one of them, but if a creeper, say a creeper just pops up right next to you, this will simply prevent them from exploding. You can take it down in no time, and then, yeah, you're just safe once again. So I think Snowball and Chilling are very awesome for the highest Apocalypse Plus. Now this third slot, I also have the Final Shout, but this, once again, was my armor, which I used with my Torment Quiver. So right now, I would go with the cooldown. Then right here, I have another one with the Final Shout, Snowball, Luck of the Sea. So you can tell that I have a lot of stuff with Snowball, Chilling, and Final Shout. But this time, we weren't able to find the Chilling on there, but we did find a Luck of the Sea. So if you really like to farm for those uniques, I think this is going to be a very awesome enchantment as well. For the people who don't know that yet, this increases your luck, which boosts the chance that rare drops become unique. But not only the drops, guys. I mean, if we equip this bad boy for a second. Normally on the Village Merchant, if you reroll this one, you only get whites and greens, right? Only commons and rares. But right now, if you press restock, you actually have a chance of getting your hands on a unique. If they didn't patch it. Aha, there we have it. So we just found 2 uniques in the Village Merchants. I think this is really nice. They aren't fantastic, but hey, this one is actually pretty cool with a potion barrier. But it of course also increases your luck on vendors like this one. We don't really need to reserve this one anymore, but sometimes you are pretty lucky. You can actually get your hands on 3 uniques right here. I actually also once managed to find 6 uniques at the Village Merchant, which is pretty interesting. And sometimes if you buy items right here, I'm really literally wasting my money to show you that it is possible. But yeah, sometimes you have extremely bad luck. Let me just try that again. Faster roll, negatives. Oh, I'm actually gonna save this one for my Soggy Cave runs. This is actually a pretty interesting piece of armor. Soul Knife. Rugged Climbing Gear. There you have it, guys. So we just found a unique. So yeah, you can find unique items at the Mystery Merchant with the Luck of the Sea. Maybe it's also possible without it, but it is extremely rare. Sometimes I find 3 or 4 uniques in a row if I'm a little bit lucky, but this time we weren't, and I am super broke, guys. 16 emeralds, ultimate thug life. Anyways, last but not least, guys, we have the Cauldron Armor, and boy oh boy, I love the looks of this one. I mean, look how fancy it is. You also have the little stick stirring on top of your head, and yeah, it's pretty much a reskin of the Full Metal Armor. I think I currently don't have one of those, but it's like the family with the Stalwart Armor. It reduces the damage, chance to negate damage, longer roll cooldown, but it's slightly different to Full Metal Armor. Still a very tanky one, so also pretty interesting to use for the highest Apocalypse Plus if you want to focus on a tank builds. But I wasn't able to get my hands on a very nice roll right here, unfortunately. This one, for example, makes me extremely reckless. We don't want to have that. This one, though, is pretty cool, and I am going to try and build a new AFK farm with this one. Because guys, look at this. We have thorns. Whenever you take damage, you deal damage back to the attacker. Then we also have the final shout. So if I drop below 25%, I will automatically use my artifacts. And then last but not least, also the gravity pulse. Or I could use the soul focus. So say I use a harvester in my AFK build. I will actually constantly trigger it when I drop below 25% of HP. So I deal massive amounts of damage in a blast around me. So all the mobs get killed pretty much when the final shots get triggered. And the soul focus pretty much increases that damage by 30%. So it can be super cool. Or if I don't want to go with that, I could also go with another artifact, but instead go with the gravity pulse. And every 5 seconds, I will simply suck in the mobs with a 200% range. So they will all start automatically attacking me. Of course, the thorns will take them down. So I think all that kind of stuff can be super interesting for an AFK farm build. So if you're interested in that one, definitely make sure to leave something in the comments down below so I know you're still looking for something like that. So a tanky piece of armor, what kind of things do you want to focus on? When I look at my stalwart armor, this one has a built-in potion use boost defense. I mean, this is such an awesome enchantment. Such an awesome enchantment. I think if it's built in, it's even better. Right here, we also have chilling, final shout, snowball. So this definitely makes you super tanky. Can be top tier. Also death barter, guys. If you're playing a hardcore playthrough in Minecraft dungeons, this literally saves you from dying if you have enough emeralds. Definitely interesting. But yeah, I think you should go with a little bit of cooldown as well, because you want to be tanky, but at the same time, you also want to deal some damage, right? This renegade armor, for example, makes me pretty tanky. So we have the snowball. This is actually a super nice example of what I would do with the Cauldron Armor. Put a snowball on there to, of course, prevent all those mobs from constantly attacking us. You will simply stun them. Then next up, you take the chilling. So you will make all the enemies slower with both movement and attack speed. And then last but not least, we do have a little bit of cooldown reduction right here. Almost 40%, which is very nice. In the past, this was less interesting as single enchantment. But right now, a single cooldown reduction can actually be super nice as well. So yeah. So there you have it, guys. All the enchantments which I think are going to be the most valuable, most interesting for the highest Apocalypse Plus play with these seasonal trial exclusive items from Halloween. So if you have some suggestions, if you have a very nice combo, if you think you find out something which I haven't yet, make sure to leave it in the comments down below. Let the community know what you think is a very awesome combination of enchantments to work with for either your regular playthrough or the highest Apocalypse Plus. This is definitely what I think is going to be really nice for all these weapons. And what I think is also really cool is that the reskins, I mean the power bow, then of course also the full metal armor. The Cackling Broom is, I think, a less powerful item, as well as the skill Scythe, but the ranged weapons, the pieces of armor, actually really nice reskins. And yeah, if you missed them, guys, just farm for the regular items. Unfortunately, the web bow is a reskin of the Winter's Touch. This one can only be found on the Island Realms. So it is right there. So you won't be able to get your hands on this without getting your hands on the DLC. Of course, maybe you can trade it with somebody, but some items are pretty tough to get your hands on. Anyways, I think they all look super cool, especially this one. I mean, this one looks so epic. Guys, big thanks for watching. I know this was a pretty long explanation. I just wanted to cover every single thing there is to know for you. Of course, if I missed something, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And of course, yeah. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you are new to the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe. There's a lot more coming your way. I had a pretty busy weekend. It was a national holiday for us, so that's the reason why I didn't upload that much. But hey, we're back with new Minecraft dungeons. I am probably gonna do a new Zero to Hero live stream very soon once again. But right now it is 4 AM out. I'll see you guys very soon. Take care. Peace.